The Mazda CX-5 is a new entry in the growing marketplace for compact SUVs. Prices start at just under 24,000 euros. It's the third Mazda after the 6 and 3 models to earn a coveted 5-star crashworthiness rating from the Euro NCAPs, using the new testing criteria established in 2009. The car's pedigree isn't exclusively Japanese. The development was supported by Mazda's European Research and Development Center in Frankfurt, Germany.
Wir haben für den CX-5
Mazda's Joachim Münzinger says the CX-5 sports a completely new generation of gas and diesel engines, called Skyactiv G and Skyactiv D respectively. The diesel engines generate particularly low emissions and pollution, fulfilling the stringent Euro 6 emissions standard, thanks to the low compression ratio. Mazda offers different power levels for the new 2.2-liter Skyactiv D diesel engine. We tested the more powerful version with 129 kilowatts and all-wheel drive. Viewed from the front, the car is dominated by a prominent grille that extends nearly to the headlights. From the side, attractive alloy wheels catch the eye. The logo is recognizable from a distance, making it clear exactly which Mazda this is. The high loading bay is typical of SUVs. The newly developed diesel engine is rattle-free, thanks to a solution from Mazda's engineers. Our car tester Sascha Knopp says the CX-5's new diesel engine is subjectively quieter and is nearly as quiet as the VW Tiguan. Mazda claims the engine is just as quiet as its VW rivals.
Das sind wohl nur Nuancen.
The suspension and steering have been completely overhauled. Lightweight construction includes a front suspension with McPherson struts and a multi-link rear axle. Mazda has massaged the suspension to allow precise and predictable handling under all conditions. The CX-5 may appear compact from the outside, but inside there's plenty of room. The seats are handsomely formed. A surround sound system fills the car up with sweeping sound. From the driver's seat, the dramatic slant of the A-pillars translates into a clear view of the road. And a 5.8-inch touchscreen monitor controls features, including navigation. Sascha is 1 meter 92 centimeters tall, way over 6 foot, so it's rare to see much rear seat room behind him in any car. But in the CX-5, Mazda paid particular attention to legroom, and the effort has paid off. When Sascha sits in the rear, his knees do touch the seatbacks in front of him. The extra window of space carved out for his knees gives him room to move.
Das heißt, dieses harte Kunststoff, Schaumierung, Gummi, was auch immer, ist hier einfach ausgespart. Und deswegen geht es sogar ganz gut.
Mazda's new design language is called Kodo, the soul of motion, the company's effort to let power and beauty find their balance on the road. The CX-5 is a product of that philosophy, reminiscent of a 2008 model Mazda 3, but with plumped-up proportions and new technology. The standard Volvo C30 has been around for many years now, says our car tester Matis, but now there's a limited production electric version available. First, Matis is off to a Volvo service center to get the story on this new edition. The new C30 Electric is a rolling data collector developed to assess the driving patterns of electric car owners. Volvo plans to gather vital data over the 3-year test period. They look at how often the car is used every day, what range the car has, and how far people drive it, explains Volvo's Michael Schweitzer, plus how often the battery is charged and what electrical source people use. While the car is in use, data are sent to Sweden every 10 seconds and every 4 hours while it's turned off. After 3 years, the database will be used to help improve the electric car of the future.
Der Zukunft aus oder wie sieht ein möglicher Nachfolger aus?
So much for the theory. Now it's time to give it a test drive.
So, dann muss ich mal gucken.
Matis first has to locate his guide for the day.
Ah, da ist ja.
And there he is, Volvo expert Michael Schwittala. After personal introductions, it's time to introduce the new model. This is indeed a 100% electric car, he explains. All electric functions, and it charges up on electricity. Otherwise, it's like a regular C30 with a gasoline engine, except this one's all electric. This is the fuel cap, as it were, where the engine is charged up. Then they examine the interior. Matis reckons the inside looks like a regular C30. There aren't many visible differences, says the Volvo man. The changes are few but crucial. There's the gear shift. It only has 3 positions. Matis sees another difference in the instrument cluster. On the right, explains the Volvo man, you now have no rev counter. Instead, there's a display for battery utilization. And next to it, you have energy recovery. Matis notices that the speedometer doesn't have as high a range as the normal C30. Indeed, the top speed is around 120 or 130 kilometers an hour, says our expert. But normally 100 or 110 will be fine for traffic on the highway.
In der Regel mit 110 km/h ist man da im Mitschwimmen auf der Autobahn sehr gut bedient.
As fast as a VW Beetle in the old days, enough to get you from A to B, says Matis. And underneath, the speedo is the battery level indicator. It works like the fuel indicator in a regular car. As soon as we get down to reserve power, explains our guide, a turtle icon lights up in the instrument cluster.
Diese Schildkröte gibt den Hinweis, dass wir uns im Reservemodus befinden.
Matis is fascinated. He can't wait to get this baby out on the road. It's basically like driving a regular automatic. You accelerate and you brake, just like having an automatic box. The difference is that it's very, very quiet. As Matis takes his foot off the gas, the car immediately slows down and recuperates. That means it recovers electric power via the kinetic energy involved. It makes the dash to 100 kilometers an hour in 10.9 seconds. That's fine for a car with 82 kilowatts of power. The engine is essentially silent. The only noise is from the tires on the road. To check whether there are any visual changes from the regular C30, we put the 2 cars side by side. There are no big differences, reckons Matis, except, of course, that the electric version is covered in stickers. Otherwise, there are a few decorative elements suggesting that this car is electric, and this one isn't. In place of the gasoline engine in the standard C30 is, of course, an electric motor. It's hidden away under this great plastic cover. But underneath, you see a wealth of high-tech innovation and a lot of orange cables. Best keep your fingers clear of them, though. The juice is really flowing.
Denn da ist richtig Saft drauf.
What sets the C30 apart from the other electric cars, says Mattes, is that it has the same cargo capacity as its regular version. Even so, there's still not much space. As said earlier, the body remains the same for the electric version, with one exception, the charger port in the radiator grille. Unlike Volvo, we don't have 3 years to test their electric experiment, so we're going to draw our conclusions right now. The Volvo C30 Electric, sums up Mattes, shows that electromobility certainly is a viable option for everyday purposes. That's assuming you don't need to drive too far. The range of 130 kilometers would be a little too short for his requirements. The recent 2012 Automobile International in Leipzig featured over 450 exhibitors. The AMI happens every 2 years, alternating with the Frankfurt Motor Show. This year, 14 manufacturers, including Rolls-Royce and Fisker, appeared for the first time. There were also 70 model premieres, from categories including Audi and Volkswagen. New developments in environmentally friendly technology were another highlight. Over 50 electric cars were on display. The offerings weren't just there to dazzle the eyes, there were lots of opportunities to test drive and participate in activities. There was plenty of interest outdoors, too. Visitors could try out small hovercrafts and test their skills on an off-road course. The Insignia has sat atop the Opel model range since 2008. Last year it got a facelift. Now Rüsselsheim is upping the ante with a new engine option for the Insignia, a 2-liter bi-turbo diesel with an output of 143 kilowatts. The two turbochargers don't work in parallel for different cylinders, but rather in sequence. Sounds complicated, but it's not. Our tester Mattes Kurat explains that the turbochargers are different in size. The small turbo uses less exhaust and generates pressure starting even at low RPMs. The bigger turbo requires more exhaust to kick in, making it effective at high revs. The two work in tandem to deliver extra power throughout the engine's range.
Einen kleinen und einen großen Turbolader, die dann je nach Drehzahlbereich unterschiedlich arbeiten.
There's practically no turbo lag. This means that preparing to overtake on the highway is no problem, even in high gear. Opel says the engine uses 5.4 liters of diesel per 100 kilometers. In practice, it takes a lot of discipline to achieve that efficiency. The Insignia bi-turbo can cover the sprint from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 8.9 seconds. The idea of using two turbos working in sequence isn't new, but Opel's engineers have executed it well, finding the right balance between the chargers. Of course, the look of Opel's flagship hasn't changed, but let's take a quick look at its design. The extravagant alloy wheels and the brawny trunk give the car a sporting character. That trunk boasts 500 liters of luggage capacity. Inside, the mix of materials, including leather and metal surfaces, is well chosen and shows a high level of workmanship. The new 2-liter bi-turbo CDTI is available in all body styles. The model we tested cost just under 37,000 euros in Germany. Opel is hoping that its new engine will create enough excitement to boost sales yet again. Every year, tuning fans descend on Wörthersee in Austria for the annual Golf GTI Extravaganza. The lakeside event was held for the 31st time in May, as always attracting enthusiasts from across the world. Some were there to present their automotive creations, others just to watch the spectacle. Nine apprentices from Volkswagen unveiled their Golf GTI Black Dynamic Study. It boasts a red and black color scheme, a 265 kilowatt TSI engine, and a lowered suspension. We were given a creative license to come up with our own ideas. I'm a painter, and we gave it a perfect finish. The GTI fans were treated to a live performance from a big-name DJ singer duo. This year's motto was Heaven and Hell. And the presentation area was witness to some devilish and divine ideas. Like this trailer, for example. Made out of a Golf GTI, what else? And the manufacturer of the Colt model now also attends the event. It's a massive event, says Volkswagen executive Ulrich Hackenberg. It gives the company the chance to show the fans everything GTI related. He also says VW realizes it's important not to lose sight of the event's primary audience, the fans. And these days, Volkswagen isn't the only car maker in attendance. There's Audi, for example. The owner of this TT painstakingly adorned it with thousands of Swarovski crystals. While the meet was initiated by the Golf GTI decades ago, says Audi CEO Rupert Stadler, it's become a stage for various marquees. Enthusiasts gather here to show all the things they've done with their cars, like sound systems with nice bass speakers at the back, or polished wheel rims. Almost 50% of people here are Audi fans, showing what they've done with their A3s, A4s, or TTs. They're real fans. Audi also presented its new e-bike. It's built to also take on challenging off-road terrain. One very special feature is the disable function, which is activated via smartphone. The saddle also features automatic adjustment. The bike itself has a built-in electric drive, explains Audi's Thomas Kuba. It has a top output of 2.3 kilowatts and can generate 250 newton meters of torque on the rear wheel. Top speed is 80 kilometers an hour. The idea behind it is Audi looking to expand mobility for the individual. So how much does the new e-bike weigh? The frame weighs 1,600 grams. It's a full suspension frame made completely out of carbon fiber reinforced polymer. Souvenir hunters had rich pickings, from USB sticks to jackets, plenty of items to choose from. At the burnout area, GTI fans could put their cars and tires through a real workout. Talk about a smoking hot display. Skoda decided to get down and dirty, especially the people volunteering for a mud shower courtesy of an SUV. Seat was also at Wörthersee to present some of its sportier models. The annual GTI meet has been around for more than 3 decades now and has lost none of its appeal. This year's outing was again a success for the fans and for the organizers. In 2013, the masses are sure to be back for more thrills, spills, and excitement.